Looking out my window, sun shining bright.
What is good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Reese, the sideliner, as always. Man, last night it was a few games. You know, Cavs versus Knicks. You had Spurs versus Phoenix. You had the Clippers taking on the Magic. Only one of those games is worth really talking about. I watched them all. But the Spurs versus the Suns, amazing game, especially that last 57 seconds. It's crazy what WEMBY could do, bro, and we're gonna get into that, bro. But yeah, while we at the start of it, man, if you here, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, man. This is a basketball centered, you know, channel. Obviously, we have our gaming things. We're doing a Spider-Man playthrough right now. We got the 2K going on. But this is a basketball NBA centered channel. So if you like that kind of content, go ahead and subscribe to your boy. You know, we push out videos when it's worth talking about, but there's definitely, you know, things worth talking about in the NBA. So let's just get into it, bro. Like I said, subscribe to the channel. Reese the sideliner. Spurs versus Phoenix Suns. Obviously, Devin Booker and Bradley Beal are still missing, so it's pretty much the Kevin Durant show. But he did have, you know, a little help last night. Eric Gordon stepped up. Grayson Allen, you know, had a pretty decent offensive output. But for the Spurs, to begin the game, Greg Popovich called a timeout 53 seconds into the game, only down 4-0. But it was just funny because he's not going for that, and especially with all the hype around Victor Wembanyama, he wants to make sure that the team just stays focused on playing basketball. And that first quarter was not pretty at all. Phoenix started off on an 8-0 run, but San Antonio eventually, you know, started putting points on the board, 7-2 run for themselves. But, you know, throughout, the struggles just continued. 5 of 18 for the quarter, 1 of 8 from deep. They were fortunate, though, however, that the Suns were missing and turning the ball over. Or, you know, the game could have been even uglier to start. It was at one point early in that first half, they were down by as much as 17 points early, and then as much as 19 in the first half. Just so many bad turnovers on some bad passes, just all around out of control play. The first play of the game was a turnover, like literally 3 to 5 seconds into the game, they turned the ball over. So it didn't look good for the Spurs throughout, you know, pretty much the entirety of the game up until the last 5 minutes of that fourth quarter where they started putting things together. Right, I mean, if you consider that little spurt that they had coming out of the half where they were able to cut the lead to 9, you know, that was looking pretty promising for them. But, you know, Kevin Durant is a killer. He does what he does, you know, Yuta the shooter. Like I said, Grayson Allen, Eric Gordon, everybody was just doing their part. Nurkic even stepped up in this one, 12 and 12, 4 assists. It was just a solid game all around up until that last 5 minutes. But man, Vic was has been very open about Kevin Durant being his favorite player to not only watch, but you know, the guy that he would want to play against the most. And that happened for him last night. And to be honest, to start the game, well, even, you know, just throughout, he was a bit starstruck going up against KD. Just 2 points in the first quarter, 0-4 shooting. He fumbled the pass out of bounds with KD closing out on him. He got ripped by KD on the wing, off the dribble. He just wasn't really locked in due to, you know, him kind of being nervous because Kevin Durant was guarding him or on the court with him. His only field goal in that first half was the crazy poster over Drew Eubanks with the left hand. Kind of dunked on Jeremy Sohan as well. But he had a decent second half, though, for sure. You know, the defense is always going to be there. It's just crazy the blocks that he's capable of getting. Dude literally went like this. He went like this under the rim, and he blocked a Grayson Allen layup attempt. Albeit a dumb shot attempt, he still got a block just by extending his arms out sideways. He has an 8-foot wingspan, so it's pretty much easy for him, bro. And I really enjoy watching him play, bro. Like, you see the smile that I have on my face when I speak about him. Just imagine me watching him play, bro. He's a willing passer, bro. And whenever he makes a play that a guy that his size typically isn't supposed to be making, you just love to see it, bro. So I really love watching him play, bro. He got back in the game in that second half, kicked off an 8-0 run to start the fourth quarter, cut the lead to 5. You know, late in the game with what, 57 seconds left to go, he hit the big time midi to cut the lead to 3. Off the Devin Vassell miss, he got the putback slam to cut the lead to 1, and that led to the Keldon Johnson steal on Kevin Durant, which if you look at the replay, he got kind of like scratched by Trey Jones. So Spurs came away with a win. I love it for them, bro. And I really enjoyed, I'm really impressed of how Victor Wembanyama handled himself in that last 2.5 minutes to absolutely like just rob the Phoenix Suns of a win. They were in charge of this game for literally the entire game. The Spurs did not have a lead up until 1.2 seconds to go. That is insane to even think about. But Vic helped lead that charge. Not just Vic though, you know, Keldon Johnson was the lead scorer tonight, and what he did coming out of the break really, you know, put them on track to take that lead and go on these runs so they can win the game. Obviously, he had the biggest play of the night with that crazy, like that was really an and one if you really want to be technical. But if we're gonna do that, you gotta give Kevin Durant his foul, and that play never happened. So he got the tough basket to win the game. He didn't have much action in that first half. He just had 9 points once the first half ended. But like I said, in that third quarter, he got it going. He had a few threes, 21 points heading into the fourth. He ended the game with 27. He was the biggest bright spot offensively for the second half of the San Antonio Spurs. And Devin Vassell, man, dude got some ice in his veins. The shots that he is able to take and make is just insane, bro. Like, I mean, like some tough ass shots. Them step back threes is clean as hell. He had 10 points in the fourth quarter after a struggle through the first 3. He finished the game off with like 18, 6, and 6. So I really enjoyed watching him last night as well. Although he did shoot just 7 of 17. Great game. Great game. Like I said, this was, you know, pretty much a Phoenix Suns win. It should have been a Phoenix Suns win. At halftime, they were literally leading by 20. Throughout points in that third quarter, they continued to lead by 20. The Spurs did get it down to 9. They got it back up to 14. It went back down to like 11 to start the fourth. But throughout the game, there was a consistent, you know, 12 to 20 point lead that Phoenix was working with. That, you know, somehow, some way, the Spurs just fought back against. They were resilient. And that resiliency in this early game against a team of the Phoenix Suns magnitude, albeit no Beal, no Booker, just shows how resilient this team will eventually be. Being such a young team, bro, it's very exciting to see. And through the first 3 quarters, Kevin Durant, he had 18.7 assists, 8 of 11 from the field. I definitely I definitely thought he would have, you know, turned it up with how easy it was for him to score throughout this game. He was even hitting jumpers over WEMBY. So he could have ended up with about 35-ish, and that would have really like secured this game for the Suns. But he was having to be the facilitator for the team last night, especially considering all the doubles that was thrown at him. So the blame is not completely on him, but had he, you know, went into that takeover mode late in the game when he saw that the Suns were, you know, kind of dwindling, that would have really, you know, set them up to win this game. Kind of lackadaisical, if you ask me, the offensive effort. Not really effort, but the output for Kevin Durant in that second half. And like I mentioned, he did have some help last night. Eric Gordon been fitting in like a glove, bro, especially in the absence of Book and Beal. 7 points in the first quarter, following up with another 7 in the second quarter. 6 of 7 from the field for the first half, but he only scored 6 additional points for the rest of the game because the shots just stopped falling for him. 2 of 7 for the rest of the game. And the Suns really needed that production offensively from him. But the 6 assists was cool, though. That's not really the Eric Gordon thing to do. So, you know, he was being productive in other ways other than scoring once the shots stopped falling. And then Grayson Allen that first half was giving the Spurs a lot of problems getting to the line, hitting threes, scoring at the rim. So he was a 3-level threat, funny enough, offensively. 16 points for the half, bro, which is crazy. Grayson Allen had an amazing first half. 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block to go along with that. So a well-rounded first half for him, but he just wasn't effective at all offensively or really pretty much for anything If you talk about rebounds and assists like he was through the first 2 quarters, just won that 1 3-pointer late in the game. And yeah, that was really all she wrote for Phoenix, man. They went up by as much as 10 in the first quarter. They were up by 9 heading into the second. Had control of the game throughout the entire first half. Like I mentioned earlier, they maintained that throughout the third, but somehow the Spurs just pulled the rug from under their feet and stole this one, bro. Like I said, no Bill, no Booker. You add one of them into this game, definitely it could go different. But the resiliency, the stick-to-itness that the Spurs had, Coach Pop, amazing substitutions and rotations and coaching, ultimately won the Spurs this game. And yeah, bro, they got their first road win of the season. Vic was mad hype after the game. I love seeing that too, because I've never seen that kind of enthusiasm out of him. So yeah, bro, if you can't tell, he's definitely one of my favorite players, not only to watch, but just like right now, just period, bro. He's one of my favorite players. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.